Welcome to the virtual information session for the Summer Scholars 2021 remote program. This information session will be about 60 minutes and a recording will be available after the session. We invite you to submit your questions using the Q&A feature at the bottom of the screen, and we'll answer your questions at the end in a Q&A session. You can speak with an enrollment advisor at any time at the number 305-284-4000. And at the end of the presentation, as a thank you for your attendance, we'll provide you with a $25 application fee waiver code. You can connect with us on social media. The Summer Scholars Program is administered by the University of Miami Division of Continuing and International Education. I'm Krista Lyons, the program director. I've been with the University of Miami for 11 years. This will be my 10th summer with Summer Scholars and the second summer that we will be a remote program. I'd like to introduce my colleague, Corey Rodriguez.
Thank you, Krista. Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining us today. As Krista mentioned, my name is Corey Rodriguez. I'm the program manager for the Summer Scholars Program. I've been with the University of Miami for 12 years, and this will be my 6th summer with the Summer Scholars Program. With us also today is our colleague, Stephanie Ismodes.
Hello, everyone. My name is Stephanie, and I'm the administrative assistant for the Summer Scholars Program. Some of you have probably spoken with me or been in contact with me through email. I look forward to connecting with you as well as providing guidance and support toward your early college experience. I would also like to introduce to you my colleague, Teddy Botana.
Thank you so much, Stephanie. It's a pleasure to be here. And again, my name is Teddy Botana. I am one of the enrollment advisors for the program, and I've been with the program for over 5 years. So if you do have any questions, if there's anything at all that you need, please feel free to reach out to me or my team. We do have multiple staff members available to assist. You can call that phone number that was at the beginning of the presentation as well. We'll provide it at the end.
Great, thank you, Teddy. So this is a quick overview of what we're going to discuss in today's session. So what is the Summer Scholars Program? It is an exciting opportunity for high school students to explore their academic passions and experience what it's like to be a college student, all before graduating from high school. So as a summer scholar, students learn remotely from a student-centered curriculum. They choose from a variety of academic tracks based on their academic interests. They can earn college credit or enroll in a non-credit experiential program. They'll attend classes taught by faculty, and they'll have the opportunity to engage with members of the University of Miami and the Summer Scholars community. The Summer Scholars 3-week college credit program, it runs from July 4th to July 23rd. And this program is for current sophomores and juniors. Students will enroll in 2 courses and they'll earn 6 college credits. The morning class is from 9:30 a.m. until 1 p.m. That's Eastern Standard Time. And the afternoon class is from 2 until 5:30 p.m. And we offer over 20 academic tracks. And we have a wide variety of academic tracks in architecture, engineering, and technology. And while we're listing the academic tracks here, we have a full list on our website, and we also have detailed course information with descriptions on our website. We have several courses in business, law, and global studies, including real estate, and our music industry course is new this summer. We also partner with the law school for the law, litigation, and legal profession. In our exploration sciences group, we include the forensic investigation academic track, and we also have courses with marine science with the Erasmus School. We include communication and media courses in digital media and filmmaking and sports communication. And we have several academic tracks for healthcare and medicine, and that includes music therapy and the brain, oncology, sports medicine, and that's a few of the many. So please, we encourage you to visit the website and read more into the academic tracks and the courses, and the faculty are also listed there, and you can read about the faculty that will be teaching the courses. So the Academy's 2-week non-credit program, this runs from July 4th to July 16th, and this course is for freshmen, sophomores, and juniors. The morning session is from 10:30 to 11:45, and the afternoon session is from 1 to 2:45. And again, that's Eastern Standard Time. And we have 2 academies, the Business Academy, a crash course in entrepreneurship, and a new academy this summer we're super excited about, the Hurricane Academy, which couldn't be more appropriate for the University of Miami. And that focuses an introduction to atmospheric science and research. So who's eligible for the Summer Scholars Program? So for the college credit program, it's for current sophomores and juniors in high school. And for the Academy's non-credit experiential program, it's for freshmen, sophomores, and juniors. The application requirements include a GPA of a 3.0 or higher, a teacher recommendation, guidance counselor recommendation, official high school transcript, and 2 essays.
One of our most frequently asked questions is, what is student life like during the program? The class schedule is Monday through Friday. This year on July 4th, that's when course materials will open to students online. We won't actually begin anything for the program until July 5th, which will be our student orientation. And because of the July 4th holiday, classes will begin this year on Tuesday, July 6th for our 3-credit program and for our 3-week program and our 2-week non-credit program. Students are in class from 9:30 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time with our credit program, with a break for lunch from 1 to 2 p.m. Classes include lectures, demonstrations, guest lecturers, tests, quizzes, projects, homework, and a final exam. For our 2-week Academy non-credit program, students are in class from 10:30 a.m. to 2:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time with a lunch break from 12 to 1 p.m. Classes include lectures, demonstrations, guest speakers, group projects, and more. After class, students will have an opportunity to work on assignments, study in groups, attend faculty and TA office hours, and attend evening social programming that we will offer from the program. Students will connect with and the Summer Scholars Program communities in these opportunities. We will offer a variety of activities. Some of those will include a undergraduate admissions information session, a college prep workshop where students will learn how to write a standout essay and prepare for the college application process, as well as activities such as a virtual campus tour with a University of Miami undergraduate student, and study breaks such as s'mores, virtual campfire, trivia, movie night, and more. After completing the program, students are going to gain the confidence in their abilities to succeed in college. They can test their academic interests, develop student-faculty relationships, learn time management skills, learn about themselves and what they're looking for in a university, what's going to be the right fit, build lifetime friendships, and become acquainted with the U. And finally, hopefully get excited for college. Tuition and fees. On your screen now, you're going to see the tuition and fees for both programs. The 3-week college credit program is $6,355, and the 2-week non-credit Academy programs are $3,466. We do have limited scholarship opportunities available for our 3-week college credit programs. This year, we're offering our Merit Scholarship, which, if selected, is a $500 award. It recognizes high-achieving sophomores and juniors in the 3-week college credit program. The application deadline is April 1st, and we are very excited to announce, we just found out this week, we will also be able to offer our Vista Scholarship opportunity this year. If selected, that is a full scholarship that covers the entire cost of the program. And it was designed to broaden the number of traditionally underrepresented students at the university. It provides need-based financial support for sophomores and juniors in the 3-week college credit program. And the application deadline for both of those scholarship opportunities will be April 1st. And students will need to submit their program application and materials and scholarship application and materials by April 1st to be considered. For the VISTA scholarship, that will include a CSS profile, which is a financial aid profile, in addition to the scholarship application. We also have a grant for dependents of University of Miami alumni. They automatically qualify for a $500 tuition grant. All you need to do is to indicate on the application that you are the dependent of the University of Miami alumni. And this applies to our 3-week college credit program to the tuition portion of the fee. If you're a University of Miami employee eligible for tuition remission is applicable to the tuition portion of our fee. It is not applicable to fees. So you can check out the breakdown on our website of tuition and fees. If you need to confirm your eligibility, you can reach out to the Employee Benefits Office. Otherwise, there's nothing else you need to do to utilize the benefit. You just need to indicate on the application the employee parent information, including C number. And when billing becomes available, we send that information directly to Employee Benefits, and they'll automatically post any eligible award. And now, most importantly, how to apply to the program. So you'll see on your screen now the website link, and you can apply through the Apply Now link. The scholarship deadline, again, is April 1st. So it's very important to meet that deadline to be considered for the scholarship. And the general application deadline will be April 30th. Now, we do offer a rolling admission. So once we have a student's entire application material for the academic portion of the application, we will send them an admission decision within 2 weeks via email. Scholarship decisions take a little bit longer, and so those will be announced via email as well, but most likely not until about mid to late June.
So many of the students and parents that participated in the remote program last summer shared some of their feedback, and I want to share some of that with you. Paulina was a student in neuroscience and public health, and she said, "This was an amazing experience. I was truly able to see what college life is like, even though we had to go remote. I met lifelong friends, and for that, I am forever thankful." And we have Adam, who is a parent. His son was in explorations in architecture. The University of Miami Summer Scholars Program lived up to its reputation and provided an incredible experience for my rising senior to understand college life and to have a foundational understanding of a career in architecture. I strongly endorse this program and will recommend it to others. So we have many more students and parents, their feedback and comments that's available on our website from last year's remote program. So we definitely encourage you to browse through the website. So actually at this time, we're ready to take questions, and we'll have a look in the Q&A chat box to see what questions you submitted. And if you think of any at the moment, please feel free to submit them.
Okay, so first we'll start with one of our most popular questions. Will this program be held virtually this year or in person? So yes, we are a remote program. That means that all activities, classes, everything will be held remotely on the computer for summer 2021.
If I can add to that, so what remote means is that the teaching is synchronous. That means that the instructors will be teaching live. So between that, the credit program, 9:30 until 1 is the morning class. Attendance is mandatory during the class time because those professors are engaging with the students live, and our class discussion is really important. The students will interact with each other, they'll interact with the professor, and that also includes, or it's counted toward the grade. So class participation is important, but attendance is absolutely necessary to be present during those course times.
We have come up also with a wide variety of activities that students can complete from home in order to fully get the experience of taking these courses. For some of our courses, that includes mailing materials home that students can use during the course as supplemental materials. For example, in forensic investigation, a 3-foot skeleton was sent out last year for students to learn the different bones in the body used in forensic investigations. We sent out solder kits and some Arduino components for our engineering students to be able to build projects at home. We sent out draft materials for our architecture students to be able to complete their drafting projects. So there's lots of different ways in which we supplement the remote experience for students so they really get the full feel of what it means to be a summer scholar and what it means to study in our courses.
And to add to that, I'm not sure how soon we get to the next question, but the course materials are included in the tuition fee. And the textbooks are typically digital. I think we had 2 textbooks last year that still only come in a print format, but the remainder of the textbooks were provided digitally.
And now, Krista, do you want to answer, is this for current sophomores or can freshmen enroll?
Okay, so the credit program is traditionally for current sophomores and juniors. And what's important is that the student has the background, the academic background to succeed in the class. We want our students to succeed. And for many of our courses, there's some requirements of biology and a second lab, a science with a lab. So we look very carefully at the transcripts. On occasion, we do have a freshman that is academically prepared to enroll in the credit courses. But what's important to understand is that these are true college courses and the students are getting graded. The grades will become part of the student's academic record at the University of Miami, and they will also have their transcript. When they apply to their undergraduate program, part of the college application process is they're going to ask, have you taken any classes on the college level? And for students who enrolled in Summer Scholars, they would say yes. And the university is going to be interested in which courses and interested in looking at the student's transcript. So the grades do follow the students and it will be reviewed by undergraduate college representatives. So we want our students just to be prepared and to succeed. And so that's our process.
We've had a question about tuition remission, whether it's for the children of employees. So tuition remission may apply to dependents of University of Miami employees. You need to speak to your benefits representative to see how it applies to you specifically. It depends on years of service and other factors. So you can reach out to an employee benefits expert for that. And if you don't know how to contact them, you can always reach out to us and we're happy to connect you to their office. Okay. And we have a question on how to email any questions or concerns after this meeting. Krista, you want to field that?
Well, we have our enrollment advisors are available and the number is 305-284-4000 and you'll either connect with Teddy or one of the enrollment advisors. Teddy, do you want to follow on with what is the best email contact?
Yeah, thank you, Krista. So yes, if you do have any questions, please feel free to call our main line number, which is again 305-284-4000. This is a Summer Scholars Program, so just make sure you pick that option. And feel free to email me directly. It's going to be a little bold, and I'm going to give you guys all my direct email, so go ahead and write this down. That is TXB as in boy 426@miami.edu. You can email me directly and I'd be happy to assist at that point.
And also on our website, there's always the Summer Scholars General Inquiries email address, which is SSP for like Summer Scholars Program, SSP@miami.edu. So definitely through our website, either through the enrollment advisors, we're here to answer your questions.
So we've had a question about whether tuition is used to purchase the tools needed for remote learning. So that goes along with what I was saying before about materials that will be sent home. So any tools or materials that are required for the student to be able to complete the course successfully will be provided by the program, and we will mail those materials home where necessary. If certain software is available, is necessary, then we will provide you with the licensing for that software for the duration of the courses. So anything that is needed to the student is provided, and that is covered by the student fee associated with the cost of the program. Okay, now can out-of-state high school students apply for the credit program? Absolutely. We have students from all over the country, from all over the nation. We just ask you to keep in mind that all of our classes are taught in Eastern Standard Time. We did shift the times a little bit later this year to hopefully accommodate some of our students on the West Coast a little bit better and some of our international students. And so the times can be found again on our website in the student life if you missed that portion. And we'll also send out a copy of this presentation via email to the email address you used to sign up for the presentation at the conclusion of today's session. Okay. All right, we have a good question here about whether if a sibling as an alumni qualifies for the alumni discount. So unfortunately, you would have to be a parent. You'd have to be the dependent of a University of Miami alumni. However, we do have our merit scholarship opportunity, which also awards the same amount, $500. So we encourage students strongly to apply to be considered for that opportunity. And all students are welcome to apply for that opportunity or for the VISTA scholarship opportunity. But the VISTA scholarship opportunity is really targeting students who have a high financial need, and also for students who are traditionally underrepresented, first generation, or any variety of different things that we're looking for in order to fulfill those scholarship needs. And so all of that will be listed on our website. We don't have that up yet. That's very new information about our VISTA scholarship. So you can check back on our website. We hope to have that up and available to you by the end of this week.
Yeah, and one thing on this scholarship, the scholarship deadline is April 1. And at the moment, the website is listing March 1, which that will be immediately updated. It's just very new news. We're very fluid. So April 1 will be that deadline.
So there was a question about if tuition was reduced because of the remote format. So what we did was we removed all of the additional fees outside of tuition. Traditionally at the University of Miami, one college credit costs about $2,200 right now. So most undergraduate students are paying about $6,600 for one 3-credit course. So we are lucky enough to be able to offer our program at a reduced tuition rate already for students where they're able to earn 6 college credits for the price of what most students are paying for 3 credits at the university. And so that is why our tuition has remained the same for the tuition portion of the fee, but we have removed all of those additional fees and program fees with a nominal student fee in addition to tuition. Okay. Here's a great question about Krista. Are the course numbers on the website, and how do we know that they're giving college credit?
Okay, so on our website, under the academic areas, there'll be a tab for the 2021 remote program. And when you select that, it's going to list the courses on the top portion. It's the 3-week credit courses, and it lists all of those. And it's a little accordion. When you open the accordion, it'll drop down and it will list the course number for instance, political science 203, Introduction to International Relations. And it will list a description about the course as well as the faculty member. And many of the faculty members' names are linked to their bios, so then you can read a little bit more about what their expertise is at the university. If you scroll more toward the bottom, then it will list academies, the 2-week program. And we have those 2 academies, the Business Academy and the Hurricane Academy. So those are the 2 that we're offering. And in the same format, you click on into the little file and it'll drop down and give a course description and information about the faculty.
We have a question asking for a little bit more detail about the breakdown of fees. So the tuition portion of our fee is $6,300. And that is the portion of the fee where if you are eligible for that alumni tuition grant, or if you're eligible for tuition remission, it would apply to that tuition portion of the fee. The rest of the fee is a $55 student fee. That fee covers those course materials that we're discussing, textbook materials, student welcome packet that we send home, and that is a $55 fee. So that is the portion that is not covered by tuition remission, not eligible for any of those tuition grants, and that would be the out-of-pocket cost for employees in addition to any portion of the tuition fee not covered by tuition remission. Okay, and will the books be sent home? Can we order the materials via the bookstore? Just in case you missed the answer to that, we will mail anything home that needs to be mailed, or it'll be provided digitally. So the students do not need to do anything to order those materials. We will provide them automatically to the home address provided on the student's application. If for some reason you have a change of address between the time you applied to the program and the time the program begins, you can simply reach out to our office as soon as possible and we can update that in your record for you.
And the digital textbooks, some of them come with PIN codes, and those would be sent to the student's email address.
Krista, if a student applies to the 3-week program and the scholarship and they get accepted to the program but are not selected for the scholarship, can they decline their admission?
Yes. And that's understandable that it's when you're applying for the VISTA scholarship, that's for financial need. And so it is possible then to decline admission. And for students applying to the scholarship, we don't require the $500 deposit to secure their seat. And the scholarship decisions, I think we're looking at mid to late May for the scholarship decision. And so at that time, then the student can decide, if they're able to, if they're not accepted or if they're not awarded the scholarship, then they can decide if they have another way to fund the program or they can decline the admission.
Yes, and just to build upon that, admission is not binding for any of our programs. However, once a student is admitted, then if they have not applied for the VISTA scholarship, we do ask for a $500 non-refundable enrollment deposit for the student to secure their space in the program. And that just lets us know that the student's committed to attending and that it guarantees their enrollment into the course once we've received the deposit. That deposit is applied towards the cost of the program. It's not an additional fee. It's just a deposit that then gets applied once final billing occurs for the program. Let's see. Okay, and to build upon that, someone asked if accepted, what's the deadline for tuition payment? So the non-refundable deposit, again, is due within 2 weeks of admission. And then the final program fee will be due by June 1st. So we're unable to bill students until registration, which we are on the calendar as the same as the undergraduates. So summer registration opens in April, and traditionally we're able to bill for the final program fees at the end of April or beginning of May. And we will send emails to notify students once billing becomes available at that time. Krista, someone has asked, does it give you a better chance of admission to the university if you do the Summer Scholars Program?
Oh, that's actually a really good question. So the Summer Scholars Program does not give preference in applying to the University of Miami. And if you can think about just the quantity of applicants that are coming through to undergraduate admissions, I believe was close to 40,000 for applications. And if you're looking at 2,000 spaces, I don't know the exact number, so don't quote me on that, but if you're looking at 2,000 spaces, it is highly competitive to be admitted into the University of Miami as an undergraduate. But having said that, what the Summer Scholars Program offers students is that opportunity to challenge themselves with college academic work. And admissions representatives, whether they're at the University of Miami or another college or university, are looking for students that are challenging themselves academically. And that really stands to the student's academic resume to show that they are committed to the college experience, but they also have succeeded on the college level.
Okay, so someone has asked, can you apply for both scholarships? Yes, absolutely. You can apply to both scholarships. They are separate applications, however, so please make sure to submit both scholarship applications separately in order to be considered for both scholarship opportunities.
Just adding on to that, it's important to understand that there's one type of financial aid or assistance that can be applied to a student's account, and it would be the form of financial aid that's the most beneficial to the student. So for instance, if they're eligible for both the Merit Scholarship and the Vista Scholarship, they would be awarded the Vista Scholarship, and that's a full scholarship. For alumni, because alumni are eligible for the $500 tuition grant, then the students would not be eligible to apply for the Merit Scholarship because they are being awarded that $500. So if you have any questions about that, let me know.
What is the difference between these courses and dual enrollment provided by a high school? So typically with dual enrollment course, a student is earning both high school credit and college credit. And that's always at the discretion of the high school. So we have had students before who have petitioned for dual enrollment credit for our courses. That is entirely between you and your high school. Whether they make that decision or not is at their discretion. We also have students who frequently will petition for transfer college credit for our courses if they go on to a university other than the University of Miami. At the University of Miami, we can guarantee that these 6 credits will count as full college credit at the university. At any other institution of higher learning, it would be at the discretion of the receiving institution, just like any other college credits you take outside of your degree program. So typically a student would petition for college credit. They would submit a form or whatever is required by their university. We always recommend they hold on to their course syllabi. We also keep them on file for the students. So if you lose it or misplace it, you can always reach out to our office for a copy of it. We have them going back many, many years. A copy of the course description also helps, and also a copy of the academic bulletin. An academic bulletin is like your contract with the university. When you attend a university, the academic bulletin reflects all of the courses that were offered in that academic year, as well as the policies and the grading scale and all of that specific year. So those also are available and are on file, and students can also use them as another aid to petition for transfer credit. Okay. Krista, what's the average class size?
It varies by course. I would say the average class size would be, I want to say 12 students for what I would call our smaller size classes, and 20 to 25 students. Some of our health and medicine classes might be 20 to 25. Our business classes could be 20 to 25. Our marine science classes, 20 to 25. Our communications classes would be 12, engineering 12 to 15. So it's they're probably within that range, 15 to 25.
And how many students overall enroll in the program?
Okay, well, last summer we had 200 students enrolled for our remote program, and we were super excited with with the number of enrollees, the students, and we had no idea what to expect. If you guys can all remember how unclear and cloudy vision was with when COVID was setting in. So we had 200 students enrolled.
So there was a question regarding the screen time and amount of time that students are in front of a screen during the program. So our professors do their best to really break up the activities throughout the day. Students are offered small breaks in between activities in order, to rest their eyes or relieve themselves, anything that they need to do. Also, they do have a combination of synchronous and asynchronous activities. So while most of the course will be held synchronously, all of the lectures and guest speakers and all of that will be synchronous and live. There may be group projects or specific assignments or reflections that the students will be asked to complete on their own and then come back to class to speak about their, discuss their answer to a question. So the professors have been teaching remotely now for over a year. I think that they've really worked hard to perfect the method of the remote instruction to the best of their ability. And so they do try and keep the students engaged. They're not going to be just talking and sitting there listening to a screen. It's really designed to be interactive and engaging, so the students feel more like they're in a classroom than just staring at a computer screen.
And another thing to add on to that is we're 100% remote, which means that this is not a hybrid situation where there's some students that are being taught live while the rest are in the remote format, when students are 100% remote, it allows for that interaction and discussion virtually.
Okay, we've also had a good question. Krista, if a student potentially has an overlapping conflict for any portion of the session, do you advise them to still apply?
Okay, that is a really good question. Because these classes count, there's college credit. These are college credit courses, and these will count toward the student's academic record in future. We want to make sure that the students have carved out that time to dedicate the time in the classroom and the time after class. So their students are in class, in lecture, and meeting with the professors live during the day, and there will be homework assignments in the evening, and it could range 2 to 3 hours. It depends on the course, it depends on the night. There's projects, some are group projects, some are research, some of it's reading the text, getting through the textbooks, but it is really important to set aside time to dedicate to summer scholars. We would not recommend a student trying to carry a part-time job at the same time, or evening courses at another university, or that would be a lot to put onto the student. And like we said, we really want the students to succeed. They're going to enjoy what they're doing. They're going to dig in, they're studying something they love, something that they can't necessarily study to that depth in high school. And so they're getting that real taste of the college academics. But you can definitely phone our office if you have an individual situation you want to discuss and talk through with us. But we would definitely recommend carving out that time to dedicate to the program.
So we've received a question about how these courses fulfill requirements at the university level. So will these courses fulfill, for example, an introductory level course if I come to the University of Miami and study this as my major? So that's also a very good question. And the answer is it depends on the course and it depends on the program. So some of our courses were created for the Summer Scholars Program specifically. They're only offered to Summer Scholars students, and some of our courses are the same course number that undergraduate students enroll in as well. So it just simply depends on the program and the course and how it was designed. Many introductory level courses for college majors, and they are designed as what they call weed out courses, or they involve so much instruction in that first semester to make sure that the students really committed to that major that sometimes we can't really condense that down into a 3-week format and feel that we've given the student the full experience of that course on campus. So then we develop a course instead to offer a taste of that career path or that major course in order for students to feel like they've had some exposure to it while not having a full semester to complete the coursework. So it really depends. Some of our courses fulfill cognates, some of them fulfill requirements, but some of them may be counted as elective credit. And that's something you can consult your academic advisor with at the university should you come on as a University of Miami undergraduate.
Yeah, and just to add to that, but those credits will count if your student attends the University of Miami. Those credits will count toward their requirement, their 120 credit requirement, whether it's elective or cognate or maybe an elective in the major.
Okay, now there's a question about whether payment can be made in installments.
So we bill, we invoice through CaneLink the end of April, and the final payment is due June 1. So unfortunately, we don't have a great way to bill early and break it down into installments. So it would almost have to be, within the month of May, certainly, once you receive the first invoice or the invoice, you could pay in portions, but the final payment would be due by June 1.
Okay, so we've had a question about asking for a little bit more detailed about how the VISTA scholarship applicants are determined. So that is a holistic review. So what we're looking for when students apply to the VISTA scholarship, we are looking at their transcript and GPA. In previous years, we have looked at PSAT, SAT, and ACT score. For this year, we do understand that students may not be able to submit those scores if they were not able to complete those tests. So we will follow the University of Miami undergraduate admissions guidance. They are test optional for fall of 2021. And so we will be test optional for the scholarship opportunity in alignment with what they are requiring at this time. It's just one of the many elements that may be considered with the student's application. We also will look at an essay that you'll submit with your scholarship application, as well as your recommendations and your program application. So it's a holistic review. And then in addition to that is where we will consider the financial need. We are looking to service students with high financial need for this scholarship. And is there a cutoff to the amount of students allowed in the program?
The capacities would be determined by the classes. So some of our classes do fill, and then we would recommend the student to look at a second option. So applying early would guarantee the student their first choice in their academic program, but there are some limitations to the number of students per class.
Okay, so someone asked, how would you describe the forensic program?
Okay, gosh. The forensic program is it's super interesting. And actually Corey and I, maybe Teddy as well, we've sat in on lectures in the class because it's so fascinating. So there's Professor Monica Feraldo. She's an anthropologist. And then there's a guest lecturer, and that is a retired special agent from the Florida Department of Law Enforcement. And he really brings some real world experience to the classroom where, he's investigated many crimes, and he, talks about, they go into fingerprinting and evidence, and, it's really interesting. They also bring in like an FBI agent and intelligence analysts, so people who are working in the field, to speak to the students, so the students can understand what is it to be, to study forensics, and what could a career path look like. Like Corey mentioned before, this 3-foot skeleton is sent to the students of the bones. They learn the bones of the body, and I think they learn about fingerprinting. So it's really engaging, and it's a fun course. And actually, just to add to that, I have had parents say to me, wow, my son or daughter, they're studying, they're loving what they're studying, they're enjoying it, and they're talking about it over dinner. So it does really excite students and get them motivated about future areas of study.
Okay, we've had a question about the class times. So for the 3-week credit program, just to repeat that again, classes are from 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time to 5:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, with a break for lunch. Students do get a 1-hour break for lunch in between courses. Each course is 3.5 hours. For the 2-week Academy program, classes are from 10:30 to 2:30 p.m. with a lunch break as well in between those courses. And when is the student taking tests? Are they during course classes or after they complete the course?
They're taking exams and quizzes throughout, and it depends on the professor. Some professors might every couple of days give a quiz or an exam. Some classes are designed that at the end of each week there would be an exam. But usually there's several components to make up a student's grade, so it's not just relying on one exam. But many students do give an exam on the last day, or the students have a project to present. They could write a paper. So there's like so many different ways that the students are graded.
Is the sport administration a part of the non-credit program? So no, sport administration is one of the tracks we offer in our 3-week college credit program. The only programs we offer in our Academy 2-week non-credit this year is our business and entrepreneurship, which is a crash course in entrepreneurship for students interested in starting their own business, and our Hurricane Academy, which is an introduction to atmospheric science. So the Hurricane Academy is brand new for this year, as Krista mentioned previously. Trying to see if there's any questions I missed. Someone did ask if the presentation would be available, and yes, once again, we will share this presentation with anyone who signed up. So if you missed part of the presentation, or even for anyone who might have signed up, if you have friends that you know that signed up and couldn't make it, this will be sent automatically to everyone who signed up, even just to see the presentation. Okay, we had another question come through, is can international students apply for the VISTA scholarship? So unfortunately, the VISTA scholarship, because it is based partially on financial consideration, students must complete a CSS profile in order to be considered, and that is based on your US tax return. So international students currently are not eligible for the VISTA scholarship. I think that's most of the questions that we received. Krista, do you want to go to the next slide so we can share some of the closing information of our website and email?
Yeah,
and all
sure.
of that?
Okay, so we'd like to thank you all for joining us. We've really enjoyed spending this afternoon with you, answering your questions. And as a special thank you, we are offering a code, which actually is thank you with the letter U, and that's for $25 off the application fee. And this waiver code would reduce the application fee to $50. And you include that on page 5 of the program application. And as we mentioned before, we have our enrollment advisors, our team, available to speak with you, including Teddy, and that's the 305-284-4000 number. Teddy, how long are you on tonight?
So typically I'm in the office until about 7 p.m. most days, and so are the other enrollment advisors. So I know that most students are in class until about 3, so feel free to reach out before 3 o'clock, but we're usually here until about 7. So feel free to reach out then.
And Teddy is also currently available on Saturdays.
Yep.
And also then we encourage you to visit our website. So there's, as we mentioned, there's much more detailed program information on the website, from the courses, the academic tracks, to the student schedules. And we encourage you to read more about the feedback from students and parents from our remote program last summer. One thing I didn't mention, which I wanted to share, is that the photos in our in the presentation today, those were our students from last summer. Those were our students studying remotely from their homes. So it was kind of a lot of fun. And you saw them with the radios they built, and building their models for architecture, and with their pets, in their home environment. So it was kind of really warming to see the students in their different environments. And so the last thing, we would just ask if you don't mind completing a short survey after our webinar today. We really do appreciate your time, your questions, your enthusiasm. And again, we are available in many ways. So please definitely reach out to us. Thank you all, and have a great evening.